Welcome to the new RiverCityGamers Podcast, hosted by SCXCR and Unreal007, as well as many other members from the RiverCityGamers website. Stay tuned for all the gaming news, new pickups, and everything else we feel like talking about on the RiverCityGamers Podcast.
And welcome to the RiverCityGamers Podcast. I am SCXCR.
Hi, I'm Unreal.
What the fuck?
I've been held against my will here.
Me too.
So
guys.
So if anybody's out there, send a message for me, AngelHalo, and Akago that we need help. Because we're
being held against my will. My address is 123. Help.
Now, Unreal, I understand you've had some amiibo issues recently. Why don't we expand a little on that?
Oh, Toys R Us is gay. And I don't like it when Toys R Us lies to people. I called on the 30th of January to ask about amiibo shipments, and it's like, oh, you better check back Sunday and shit. That's when we're gonna have stuff on sale. So I called back later the same day just because, and they're like, oh, we sold out of Lucario. And I'm like, you bitches told me that you were gonna fucking have them Sunday. We were like, no. By the way, apparently this Toys R Us employee thinks Lucario's a girl.
I've been meaning to tell that employee that Lucario is not a sexual object.
Well, that was the bad news. Today as in recording day, me and Shadow Snake, keep in mind, we live in different states, woke up early before Target opened and actually got amiibos. We actually got some, which means I now own Toon Link, Sheik, and Rosalina, and so does he.
Then I believe we could qualify that as quote-unquote gaming news.
Gaming news! So real.
Fairly significant news for people who buy Nintendo products. Club Nintendo is going to be discontinued. They made an announcement on
February now.
They made an announcement on their Club Nintendo site that products after a certain date aren't going to be able to register with Club Nintendo. There's a deadline for when you can earn coins, and then finally they're going to end up shutting down the whole thing in, I believe, September, did they say it was?
I don't know when they are what's it called? Shutting down the whole thing. The only thing I really do know is that when Club Nintendo shuts down, they're gonna put it into something else.
I'd assume so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I got the press release. All coins will be deleted when Club Nintendo accounts are closed on July 1st, 2015. This probably affects you, Unreal, more than it does me, because I typically don't get enough Nintendo products to get anywhere near Platinum.
Me neither.
That's funny, because there was no way I was going to reach Platinum, but someone in the Skype group that's all from, like, Vinesauce just had a bunch of codes they was just going to give away. So I actually took a couple, and I'm Platinum now.
Yeah, that reminds me. I've been thinking about buying a new Nintendo Wii U game since I'm like 130 coins away to getting gold.
Jordan, I'm gonna ask that guy in particular to see if there's any codes left, because he had like whatever you call it, like info dump thingies. Not a Dropbox, but kind of like a text Dropbox thing. I forget what those are called. If he still has some left, I'll probably direct you to that so you don't have to like go out and buy stuff, because even though it's tax return season, my funds are kind of being weird, and kind of sucks that they weren't adding more codes for like February, because Monster Hunter Majora's Mask would have actually increased some of the coin count. And it's just like, hey, no, you don't. My big question about this whole Club Nintendo closure is like we know everything's just being gone. All the coins you have is going to be gone. There's going to be no more of that stuff. But what's the next thing going to be? Like, they're planning to do another thing, but I really would love to know what that is. But right now, we don't know. We're not going to have any idea. That, and even though recording is technically February right now, there's still no games that they added, like they said in February, quite yet. So maybe sometime throughout the month they'll show up on Club Nintendo. Because I'm checking it right now. It is nothing yet. And again, it's just the 1st of February.
I have this feeling that whatever they bring back in lieu of Club Nintendo is going to be more focused towards digital rewards, which I honestly don't like as much.
Yeah, they did that last year, where like Gold and Platinum shit was all like all digital. I wasn't great on that because I'm like, I don't want any of these really. I think my favorite Club Nintendo gift though, which I don't think was a Platinum or Gold thing. I forget what was Platinum and Gold some years, honestly. But the Golden Nunchuck, I'm glad I got that. Probably my favorite Club Nintendo gift.
You got gold everything right now, don't you?
Well, not a gold gamepad, no gold PS4. I got gold Ranger keys, so yeah. So I guess I got gold most things.
So you're just missing the golden classic controller.
What? For
Wii U. No, Wii.
No, I'm not. You know I have
Okay,
that.
okay. So what
I
of
got
gold?
GoldenEye.
What of gold are you missing?
Classic Controller Pro for Wii U, because that doesn't exist. PS4, because it doesn't exist yet. Gamepad, because... And I'm never going to get the new 3DS XL, because Majora's Mask Edition is just never going to show up again. Nice to have, though.
But as for Club Nintendo, all I know is that it has something to do with the rewards program that those who got the Wii U, the black Wii U's, where if you buy games off of the eShop on there, you sort of get like 10% back in coins, I think.
Oh, that ended in December.
Oh.
I know, because I bought it like a couple of Virtual Console games to add up the points, and now I have $5 in my account. Thinking of using those $5 plus a little extra money to maybe buy Breath of Fire 2. I don't know. It's just been sitting there, and I'm just don't know what to buy yet.
Sega of America is relocating their offices, and in the process, they're also downsizing.
Oh man, I've heard about this. Like they're cutting back on 300 jobs, right?
Something like that.
Oh my god! And if I remember, they're also preparing for a mobile phone, a more heavy on the mobile phone digital distribution services, right?
Because that's worked out so well for Capcom.
And we're talking about outside of just re-releasing games like Sonic and Streets of Rage 2, of course. Because, you know, Sega decided to tell this indie company, Bomber Games, to stop distributing Streets of Rage Remake. All because they wanted to they wanted to rehash the same Streets of Rage 2 game only on mobile phones. Because that's exactly where I want to play a very fast-paced beat-em-up with a touchscreen. I'm going on about this. What do you guys have your say on it?
It sucks, but
I just hope it's not a premonition of things to come. Because last time I had a company that I kind of sort of liked that went through something like this, Hudson Entertainment closed down. And now, just as a note, this isn't affecting like the Sonic Boom TV show or any games that are releasing this year.
This year. Because I've been hearing rumors that there might be a new Streets of Rage game in the future, so, you know.
Hold out hope.
well, they did recently announce that new Monster Boy game, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did. The hype for Monster Boy in this chat is negative.
You know, I
don't even know what that is. All I just know is there's a beer wizard or something.
It's apparently a modern successor to Wonder Boy. That's about all I know about it.
We're going back to Nintendo. I didn't intend for this to be as Nintendo heavy, but here we are. They've changed around their policy on YouTube videos. You know, like Let's Plays and shit like that.
Yeah.
Oh, this new program that they've got going.
Yeah, they have a creators program whitelist now for certain approved Nintendo titles, where YouTubers can receive a cut of the revenue they get off of those videos. If it's a registered channel for Nintendo, you get 70%. If it's a registered video, you get 60%.
Okay.
I still don't know how to feel about that. I mean, they're getting something, which is a step over the nothing they were getting before.
Yeah, I know Nintendo's been pretty stingy about when it comes to internet stuff. Like, I remember a couple years back where EVO was hosted a Smash Bros. Melee tournament, and Nintendo had that taken off until a lot of backlash happened, which a couple hours later called Nintendo to step back on their stance. And so it's no coincidence that Reggie decided to personally support EVO the following year.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Yeah,
into the right direction, I suppose.
And it sounds like they're doing something similar to that, where back then Nintendo would be like, you can't make any YouTube videos about our games or profit off of them at least. So I assume they made this program in order to make it to where they still get some revenue while still giving the content creators a good chunk of the revenue that they could earn from doing this. But I'm not a Let's Player, so I can't exactly say how I could feel about this. I will say that it is a step in the right direction. That much you can take from face value.
At least they're not flat out removing stuff. But
Yeah.
Well, that actually segues very well into our next story. It's kind of an older story, but I figured I'd bring it up anyway. Concerns Hotline Miami 2 wrong number.
Oh.
What's this about?
It's about that place that apparently hates video games they call
Oh,
Australia.
God, Yep, I heard about this one.
The game was refused classification, which basically means you can't sell it.
Wait.
Yeah, really
Wait.
that surprised.
Wait, I missed it. What?
Australia's board refused classification for Hotline Miami 2, so they can't sell it in Australia.
You know, Australia's had a history with stuff like that.
Yeah.
You remember back with Postal 2? Postal 2 was flat out banned in Australia because of its violence alone.
they didn't want to sign the petition.
Yeah, even
Excuse me, sir. Would you like to sign my petition?
Yeah, even Adam Sessler on XPlay made fun of this fact in his review of the game.
Oh, this has gone on for a while. Like, Left 4 Dead had problems with Australia too, but that's not the actual story. The story is the way that one of the people who worked on Hotline Miami responded to this when a fan in Australia emailed him asking if there was any way that they could pay him for a copy of the game. And he responded with the following quote: "If it ends up not being released in Australia, just pirate it after release. No need to send us any money, just enjoy the game."
Oh.
That's chill.
I think there was a similar thing going on with, if I remember this game, it was this point-and-click sprite game. I don't remember the name of it. It was basically where a bunch of random shit is happening and you're supposed to solve a problem. And it turns out the solution is not what you would think of it as first, or at least would not think of it. Like, there's either a crazy solution to it, or it's a solution so simple you wouldn't think of it. Anyway, the guy decided that when the game was released, he just decided to torrent his own game out so people could download it. I need to look up the name of this game. But basically, it is pretty cool of them to do that, because it does suck if you're not able to sell the game at all. But I figured, in the end, if people are able to enjoy this game, then what the hell?
Yeah. That game you mentioned, that wouldn't happen to be McPixel, would it be?
Yes,
would it?
McPixel.
Okay.
Dick. Wait.
Thought it sounded familiar.
Yeah, the creator of that game just decided to have his own game pirated on purpose, just to spread it around.
Yeah, a lot of indie developers seem to be cool about that. Like the guys who did, what's it called? No Time to Explain. They did a special pirate version where the main character just wears a pirate hat. That's the only difference.
Five Nights at Freddy's, well, while this one wasn't doing the same thing, they did have sort of an anti-piracy thing going on, but not in the way you would think. Where if you pirate the game, the only difference is that you'll get a jump scare every time you leave the game.
Yeah, heard something about that.
And then there's Game Dev Tycoon, where you actually can't play to a certain point of the game.
Yeah,
because everybody pirates your game.
Yeah.
How meta.
Yeah, and I also remember that Serious Sam 3 also had this thing where if you pirate the game, there's this one enemy that's really fucking scary. They run really fast, and they're invincible, and the only way to make them go away is to buy the full version.
Well, that seems a little more intrusive than the other stuff we've mentioned.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always amusing when developers kind of go the extra mile to do stuff like that.
Oh, you thought that's crazy? You should look at the case of Batman Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, with the gliding not working, and one guy who complained about it accidentally revealed that he had a pirated copy, and so the developers were like, it's not a bug in the game's code, it's a bug in your moral code.
Yeah, that was pretty clever.
And finally, since we're talking about coding games, how many of you have played a game called Gunpoint?
Gunpoint.
I have not, but I'm aware of it.
I wouldn't be
think so.
I wouldn't be surprised if I actually own it.
Steam sale.
I've owned it and I've played it, and it came as a bit of a surprise to me that the creator of Gunpoint, Tom Francis, is starting to do a series of videos on YouTube, and this video series is entitled "Make a Game with No Experience." It's a tutorial set that he's making to explain how to use Game Maker Studio. It's like the Super for Dummies edition of Game Maker Studio.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and considering, I think it might have been through either a Steam sale or some kind of giveaway they were doing, but I have a copy of Game Maker Studio, so I'm at least a little interested in this.
I got no.
Am I really
Yeah.
the only person that's anything to say about this? Yeah, so let's just move on from talking about making games to games we've actually played. Any of you want to chime in with something that you've played recently?
I suppose I could. I've been playing a lot of Payday 2 as of late, especially with all the DLC coming out. I will say I do have a new legitimate complaint towards Payday 2, that is, there's way too much fucking DLC. I mean, to be fair, a lot of it, pretty much all of it, is completely optional, and you can still play the DLC levels without the DLC as long as you don't mind not hosting. I mean, the main reason you want the DLC levels is just to get the extra goodies, like weapons and masks and achievements and all that. But, you know, now it's gotten to the point where all the DLC combined is like worth over $60 plus the base game. Or including the base game, I should say.
The base game is usually like $2 on sale, so they're probably taking that into account.
Yeah, so...
Like, we know you guys got it for like 1 penny on Steam sale, so here's the DLC.
Yeah, so basically, if you're gonna get any of the DLC, I would just wait till it goes on sale. I've noticed that it's gotten on sale a few times with, I don't know how many times throughout the year, almost as much as Killing Floor to this point. So, you know, something to keep an eye out. I've also been playing Titanfall recently, which I also bought during the winter sale. EA had their own winter sale going on, and I almost never use Origin at all. So I was kind of, yeah. But I was kind of surprised to actually invest into playing a trial of Titanfall and be like, you know what, this is a really good fucking game. I'm gonna buy it for like $10. I could have gotten a season pass for like $20, but no one online is playing it.
Exactly, because no one wanted it.
So it's like, okay, spend all this extra money for maps that nobody's gonna play. The game already has like, what, 15 maps already, so what's it matter?
Who hasn't gone yet?
Anyone but me.
I don't know
Guess
why I
I'll
thought Akago went first. I must have blacked out.
I'll go next then, whatever.
So, Akago, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? Well, for most part of the last 2 months, I've been playing Commandos Behind Enemy Lines after I picked up the Commandos ammo pack over on GOG.com for 99 euro cents when that was on sale. Kind of an impulsive purchase considering I had plenty of other stuff to play, but what the heck. And I must say, it was actually pretty good. In case you don't know, it's a 1998 game, kind of an overhead tactical strategy kind of thing where you control a team of specialists during World War II and have to sabotage the German army by blowing up stuff or assassinating certain key figures, that sort of thing. It's very based around stealth. You can't get spotted or else you'll immediately get shot down, of course. And it's really, really fucking hard, as you can tell by the fact that it took me until now to finally finish it. But I had a pretty good time with it. And besides that, I've been playing a bunch of indie stuff that I also bought on the side, like Surgeon Simulator, which I'm sure you're all familiar with.
Yep.
And I also picked up another indie game called Eldritch, which was also on sale on the Humble Store a while ago, which is kind of a first-person roguelike based around the Cthulhu mythos. So you have randomly generated worlds full of fishmen and cultists and Cthulhu spawn, that sort of thing, and you collect the different weapons and spells, try to make it to the end, and you die a lot because it's a roguelike, obviously. But not half bad either way. That's pretty much everything that's been keeping me busy as of late.
Alright, I'll go ahead and go next. I got a game. I have two games. Both of these I got through the Steam Winter Sale. Or did they call it Winter Sale or Christmas Sale? I can't remember.
Winter.
Winter, okay.
It's a Steam sale. That's all you need to know.
Right, well, I got one game called Contrast, which I'm still not sure if I like it or not. Because the idea is that you're playing, it's all set in this like old kind of like vaudeville kind of setting, and you play as this girl who's the quote-unquote invisible friend of another little girl, and you're in this town and all the other people in the population are invisible to you, and you can only see their shadows. And the way that you get around in this game is just by doing a bunch of platforming stuff, except the thing is, there are some sections where you have to put yourself into the wall as a shadow, and then platform your way across these different moving shadows across the wall. So there were a bunch of interesting puzzles in it where you can like shift around light sources in order to gain access to more areas. My drawbacks with it are mostly from a presentation standpoint. Like, within 20 seconds of gaining control in the game, I was able to walk off to the side and clip through like a wagon cart that was just sitting there. And also, if you try...
had one job.
Yeah. And if you try like moving into a wall and then turning to the side, your character will not do their walking or running animation, so they'll just hover across the side of the level. But it does have some interesting ideas going for it, because the town you're in is clearly not a normal town. You'll eventually get to this point where everything just starts like slowly drooping down and then just sinking into the abyss, like there's a black hole underneath the town. There's stuff floating around in various places. It's an interesting setting to have it in. Although the presentation problems and the linearity of it kind of work against it. So I could tentatively recommend that. And the other game I've been playing is something called The Fall, which again I got through Steam Sale. Are any of you familiar with that?
I've heard of it. I actually looked it up the other day, but I've already completely forgotten what kind of game it is.
It's a game set in the future, and the idea is you have crash-landed on an unfamiliar planet, and your ship embedded itself like a couple hundred feet below the surface. In the process, your pilot gets knocked out. So the AI that's in the pilot's suit takes control, and you're basically playing as the suit's AI, moving around with the unconscious pilot still inside of you, trying to find medical treatment for him. And also trying to figure out where the hell you are and what you're doing there. And in the process, it kind of reminds me of like if Another World was a little more forgiving and had cover shooter sequences.
This sounds actually kind of fascinating.
Yeah, there's sections where you also need to use the suit's AI to take control of various machines around you. Like you do that to get past security checkpoints. You need that to like operate lifts to get to different areas. And in the process, you also come across like other AI and try to interact with them and see what information or abilities you can get out of them. In the process, your AI also gets a little befuddled because it has to go against certain protocols that are programmed into it. I hate using this phrase, but it kind of develops a mind of its own as you go. And then there's this one sequence I can't get over where in order to get through this one security area, you have to pretend that you are a homemaker droid. So you're this military grade suit AI with an unconscious pilot inside of you, and you're being taught how to like serve dinner for humans and dust areas. It's unusual. I really like what I've played of it so far though.
Sounds good.
That's all I've got to say about that. So, Unreal?
Oh man, okay. I can't say that these are recent pickups. I mean, one of them was a game I've had for months since last year, and the other was a Christmas gift. I'll start with Far Cry 4, excuse me. So in
Grab Rangoon.
I don't know why. It's because of fucking Donkey I call it Fucker 4. Because he called Far Cry 3 Fucker 3. And I'm just like, oh man, I can't not call it Fucker 4 now. But anyways, Far Cry 4, I played that to completion. And I'm glad I got it as a Christmas gift. This is a good game. But the game, in terms of like glitches and shit, falls the fuck apart in co-op. Oh my god. Where do I begin on this? I've had me and my friend fall through the map. One of my freaking friends fell through the map after wrestling an alligator or crocodile. I've had my health bar completely tell me the incorrect amount of health. I've had invisible players and shit. I've had it was a mess, but it was a fun mess online. And what's funny is, in single player, I barely had any of those glitches. Everything else performed better. But yeah, Far Cry 4 was, in general, way better than I thought it was gonna be, which is a good thing. I find it better than Far Cry 3, but I think I like Blood Dragon more, mainly because of the aesthetic and, you know, what's in there. I mean, Far Cry 4 is way fucking longer than Blood Dragon, of course, but I like Blood Dragon a little bit more because of the 80s thing, and it just fits right there for me in terms of entertainment value. Also, Blood Dragon introduced me to Miami Connection, so that's why it instantly wins over Far Cry 4. Well, at least Far Cry 4, even though it's a stupid Uplay thing, you can have the Alex J. Murphy 9 handgun in Far Cry 4. And I'm glad they brought that over, because I fucking love the Blood Dragon weapons, even though that was the only one they brought over through stupid-ass Uplay. The other game I beat recently, after having it since September or October, I think October-ish, or even November, Bayonetta 2, I actually sat down and finished it about a few weeks ago. It's really good. I still think the ending to Bayonetta 1 is more retarded, and by retarded I mean fucking amazing. But I liked Bayonetta 2 better, by far. It was a lot more fun, even though Bayonetta 1 was fun. It just got rid of the shit I didn't like in Bayonetta 1. So, that's great! Co-op is weird though, but it's fine. It actually performs well, which surprised me, because you know, sometimes Nintendo Online can be a little iffy, but Bayonetta 2's worked well, even though it's extremely simple. SCR, how far did you get in Bayonetta 2?
I think I got like 4 levels in, and then I haven't gotten back to it yet.
Alright, I'm just checking, because, like, back when I got it, I played through Bayonetta 1, but then I never touched 2 until, like, a few weeks ago. And then I beat it in a single setting. That's really the only games I, like, managed to, like, play through and beat that I already owned. I bought a couple of random things, but I haven't touched them. And, like, including the, like, the stuff I mentioned on eShop with that promotion that happened at the end of December just to get the last $5 thing before it closes for good. And I know I'm kind of cheating here, but I want to bring this up. I actually got to play the new 3DS because my GameStop actually had a kiosk for it ready when I picked up my Bowser amiibo a few days ago. First off, I want to talk about the 3D. It's fucking great. I like tested it out by just like moving my head and shit and stuff, and it still looks good. It is way better than the old 3DS stuff. No, like, you don't need a sweet spot anymore. You just have to, like, make sure you're looking at the screen, and you can at least do minimal movements now without it completely fucking it up. And that's great. I'm surprised at how well that works. I do want to bring up the little C-stick thing. How do you think that works? Just tell me. I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer, but you'll understand what I'm getting at when I explain it.
It looks
like how do you think it would feel in your hand?
Stiff.
It looks like when those laptops don't have like a touchpad for their mouse, instead there's just a nub in the middle that you kind of move around.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, really. I've dealt with something like that before in older laptops, but that's about it.
Okay, when I got to use it, when like, by the way, the game that was being showcased was Majora's Mask 3D. Which is funny, because when I was playing that, I barely used it. I just went to old spam L because of fucking Ocarina of Time. But it feels like the C-stick doesn't even fucking move! Like, I'm just like, is this working? I was actually wondering if it didn't fucking work. Like, but it actually does work. But it feels weird because it feels like you're not even moving the thing. It feels like something's wrong with it, and if I pushed it too hard enough, I might break it. So Akago was kind of close to the stiff thing, and maybe the laptop things you guys are mentioning. Like, I haven't had an experience with those, but like, it works, but it was so weird. I can't really talk about the comfort of the 3DS because since it's a kiosk, it has the clamp on the back and with the wire, so it didn't really feel good. So I can't really say about comfort because of that, but I assume without the stupid clamp in your own hands, it would feel fine, like an XL. And again, I don't own an XL, so this is kind of new territory for me in terms of size. I'm still gonna upgrade, but I don't know when. But that's all I gotta say on the new 3DS. I'm still weirded out by that C-stick nub. Maybe I'll get used to it the more I use it.
I definitely had the new 3DS XL pre-ordered, the red one, because I decided that I'm not playing my Vita anymore. I have no games I want on the Vita. Like, maybe I'll get myself a Vita TV someday since it's cheaper, but for now, just trade it in at GameStop and get like the full $100 credit towards it. And I'll trade my 3DS XL in towards it once it comes out so I can transfer my system data before actually trading it in.
I'm not trading my old 3DS in because it's a Zelda edition. Right. And even the GameStop employees like, yeah, we wouldn't want you to do that, really. Like, we would never force that on you. I gotta give shout-outs to my GameStop. Some of the employees there are pretty cool. Probably why I occasionally go in there and stuff and still pre-order from them.
Yeah, they're pretty cool about the idea they had to ensure that I got all my data transferred and still got the full $100 credit for trade-in.
And hell, the guys are actually being pretty cool about amiibos with me. I mean, I would have asked about Sheik or Toon Link if I couldn't get them at Target, but I don't have to worry about that anymore. But I think we're done here. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to something I actually mixed up the order of and do upcoming releases. And, well, you just talked about one of them. The new 3DS.
And what else is coming on that day? What two games are going to take our time away from real life? one in particular.
Majora's Mask 3D, which you already talked about.
Yep.
And,
That's not the one.
And, Monster Hunter 4 Ultimate?
Yeah!
AKA that game that I don't play.
Yeah, and the 3DS version, well, the only version, I should say, will have online play.
The only version. Suddenly Wii U re-release. Announced the day of release. Hey, good job buying. Here's another version. What the fuck? Yeah! Oh,
I would be very happy if they actually released Monster Hunter Online here.
I would like that and Frontier. Just give us all of it. It's just like, I'll take all of it. Not the iPad one. I never want to play the iPad one game. Not after YobaCon. That thing was not good. SCR, you know what I'm talking about. I went up.
Yes,
during
which
that
is why
panel.
I am immediately changing the subject, because
Exactly. Thank you.
a few weeks from now, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse, which I'm kind of interested in. I haven't been
Almost
interested in
enough.
Kirby games for a while, though.
Yeah, that's kind of me also. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Kind of like Captain Toad Treasure Tracker. I don't know if I'm gonna get it. Maybe I will at some point. I still don't have Donkey Kong. I'm a little behind, but anyway. What else is coming out?
I don't know if any of us could comment on this. Oni could, but he's not here. Dragon Ball Xenoverse?
I thought you said Oni Hood, and I'm like, is that the name of the game? But that threw me off. Fucking, who cares about Dragon Ball?
I do.
Well, current Dragon Ball.
Well, mainly Dragon
Yeah.
Ball Z. I've seen almost every single episode back on when it was aired on Toonami back in the.
And then there was GT. Okay, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
Well, that's been declared non-canon.
They
Ages
actually
ago
fucking
already.
retconned it?
Yeah, they did.
Oh my god!
The creator actually retconned it. I heard he wasn't even involved with it. Not entirely.
Yeah,
So Blue
He-
Dragon is canon to DBZ now. Holy crap, the guy from Deep Purple.
basically the new Battle of Gods movie basically completely contradicted everything that happened in GT. So,
Oh,
Oh.
fuck! I know what's coming out in February and I'm renting it. God damn it.
But
Well, I don't know if this is it, but
is
Evolve comes out in February.
Oh, no, that's not it. But I didn't know that was coming out in February, and I still don't really care.
I don't know how much Evolve DLC is coming out in February, but
Probably every single one.
let's see, what else is
What
coming
else is coming out in February?
out? A Dead or Alive game.
No, that's not.
oh, I think that's the PC version.
Last round. We swear
Xbox
it's the
One.
final of the sexy costumes.
Yeah, that's the one that's going to include every piece of content that was released on the consoles.
And by that, sexy costumes and frog. Anyways.
There's a
What
Dynasty
else is
Warriors game.
Oh, Dynasty. I thought you said the Warriors game, and I'm like, what?
No,
making
I
another
have the
game.
Warriors game.
Yeah, there's already the Warriors game by Rockstar. It's like, how do you make another one? HD remaster? I don't know.
And you know what else is coming out?
what?
Something
The
that
Order
you have to
1880s.
order.
Oh, that PS4 game. Okay.
Yeah, the Order 1886. That's the one I'm renting and gonna regret.
Yeah, let me know when Killing Floor 2 comes out.
Next year. I don't know when that's coming out. Oh, I don't know why the fuck I'm gonna rent the Order. I just know it's gonna go wrong. I just know half the time my controller's gonna be on the ground because you're not actually playing the thing. If it proves me wrong, then maybe I'll do a video on it. No promises. But if it proves me right, maybe I'll do a video on it. No promises. Oh, well, the thing is, I gotta either purchase my GTA 5 port or return it before the 20th-ish. I got a month. See how lazy I am in terms of finishing that game again. Oh, I don't... Fucking goddamn it, The Order. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm just expecting it to be bad. Maybe that's just me. I'm the only one here with a PS quadruple, and I think Oni's the only one here with an X-Bone, even though he's not in this chat.
I would have had a PS4 if I'd won the AGDQ raffle, which I didn't.
Yeah, I think last year I tried to go into the raffle for that thing, and of course I didn't win it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're getting a little off topic now, so let's just go toward our discussion for today. And it has to do with the curious case of Elder Scrolls Online.
Oh, fuck
Yeah,
that.
I'm out.
Yep,
Bye.
okay, so this was the River City Gamers Podcast.
A few months ago, Elder Scrolls Online was being pulled off of game shelves, and no one was commenting on why, but people suspected it was because they were going to drop the buy-in and online subscription model. Well, it turns out they're dropping the online subscription model.
Would have thought.
Even the Elder Scrolls name wasn't enough.
No, and it's not going to be fully free to play, because you still have to buy the game to get into it.
I'm guessing it's just a digital distribution.
Primarily, yes. And they're also going to have like the equivalent of DLC, which you'd have to purchase too if you want to do that, but I don't see much reason to.
And they expect people to buy the game. Why exactly?
Because Elder Scrolls.
Yeah,
Is this even
I've heard.
canon?
Yeah, I've heard it's just one of those run-of-the-mill MMO games. Like, unless your name is World of Warcraft or maybe Final Fantasy 11 or 14, then you're not going to be a subscription model for long.
Yeah, even EverQuest doesn't have the subscription model anymore.
Yeah.
Which brings me to a question. Can you really launch a game anymore that uses the subscription model for online play?
Well, technically, we already have a subscription model for online play. It's called Xbox Live and PSN for PS4, that is.
That's for like an entire console user base, though. Just for one game, though.
Yeah, for one game, I get that. I just don't like the whole aspect of it entirely because I'm already paying for my own goddamn internet bill. But yeah, that is a different topic entirely. What I can say though is I've actually hung around with people back at high school that would play World of Warcraft constantly. And even one of them, who finally got a job, decided the next day to just don't go to work. Like, flat out, don't go there at all, because he just wanted to do this raid on World of Warcraft. And he got into this argument with his, I think his cousin or something, where he was telling him to go to work, or they'll call, let them know, and he'll be fired and all that stuff, and cancel his subscription too. My point is, there are people who are absolutely obsessed with World of Warcraft. They have that audience that will go out of their way so much length just to participate in simple raids, to talk with other people, to challenge other players. They have that audience to make a subscription model possible back then in the first decade of this 21st century. Nowadays, while we still got big audiences in other genres, who's talking about World of Warcraft much these days? I mean, it still has its own cult following, and it's no doubt still huge to this day. But now we got this free-to-play services going on for a bunch of different games, like Dota 2, Team Fortress 2. There's a whole bunch of examples you can look up on Steam. There were even some MMO games that attempted a subscription model, like APB Reloaded, I think is what it's called, but it didn't last very long and decided to go to a free-to-play model instead. And it's still not that popular. So I guess it just begs the question, where's the audience? Where's the audience that's going to make this possible? Because we all know that Elder Scrolls is a big name when it comes to the role-playing scene. It's a name that anyone who's big into Western RPGs would know most. I'm not all that surprised that it would go from a subscription model to moving towards a free-to-play model. Not exactly, but more like a model from that, what was that MMORPG that was published by Sony during the PS2 times? Well, anyway, you did have to buy the game, but online services were free. If anyone thinks of it, feel free to interject.
You're not talking about one of the EverQuest games, are you?
I think it is EverQuest. I just didn't want to get confused with some other game.
Might have been Champions of Norath, I don't know, because I didn't play that.
Well, I do know it was on PS2 at the time, and maybe on PC. Anyway, you got a big name like that, and I'm a little surprised that even though I'm not surprised that it shifted from a subscription model to a free-to-play model, but I am surprised at the fact that this is Elder Scrolls. And apparently the audience just wasn't that big enough to keep it a subscription model. That surprises me.
Is it that the audience isn't big enough, or is it that... I don't know, it seemed like they alienated a lot of their user base in trying to go to Elder Scrolls Online. Something that World of Warcraft managed to avoid.
Yeah, I never played Elder Scrolls Online, so I wouldn't be able to tell it. I'm not really a World of Warcraft aficionado. I know the people that played it. I can tell you how they would behave when it comes to playing it. I could tell you some interesting stories about it, but I wouldn't know anything about World of Warcraft in general. All I know is that it was really popular, still has, at the very least, a cult audience that makes the subscription model possible. But then you got Elder Scrolls, which, according to you, has actually been alienating their audiences, which, to me, when it comes to making a game in almost a different genre, I say almost, because it's still a Western RPG, but it's an MMO sense, of course. But, again, I wouldn't know exactly how it plays.
It basically has a similar model now to like what Guild Wars 2 has, where you just buy the game and then you're in. Although I don't know if Guild Wars 2 has like the kind of DLC that Elder Scrolls Online is planning to. One thing I can say from my experience is that I could kind of tell that the subscription model wasn't going to last even like 7 years ago. This is back when I was still subscribed to EverQuest, and I was also subscribed to another game called City of Heroes, or City of Villains, depending which version you played. City of Heroes really didn't have a recourse for anything but having people buy the game and then be on a subscription. And it's not surprising then that City of Heroes eventually shut down. EverQuest, however, they shifted their stance a little, and they said people can download the game for free. However, like new stuff that comes out for it, you have to pay for that, and then they have a bunch of like bullshit things in it where you can like pay for a level 85 character right out the gate. I really don't like that, because anyone who's either not a really early level or really high level is just completely in flux, and there are so few of them now that they can't group with each other and do quests.
Especially when you offer the whole pay-to-win thing like that.
Yeah. Plus, there are constantly spammers on EverQuest who are saying, like, give me like $20 for 50,000 platinum pieces. Here's the address. And they've been trying to get rid of that, and they haven't really done a very good job of it. My question though now is, aside from having like an already established audience, like World of Warcraft did, or to a lesser degree what Elder Scrolls did, although that's debatable, what would it take to be able to pay for a subscription now? Because I was also briefly subscribed to EVE Online, and the thing is, the scope of that game is just so ridiculously massive that I could kind of understand paying for it. Plus, there are the massive, like, spaceship wars that you can do between people.
Any more from anyone else?
Nothing from me.
Yeah, really, I got nothing to say. I mean, just freaking Elder Scrolls Online isn't good.
Well, let me ask you...
And I don't play MMOs.
Well, let me ask you two then. What would it take for you to pay any kind of subscription to play a game?
Have it not suck shit.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the thing. Elder Scrolls Online is just not a good game. Not even a good Elder Scrolls game. Like for example, if I know this is kind of cheating, but if Monster Hunter Frontier came out over here, I'd pay subscription money because I love Monster Hunter. Unless the pricing isn't great. I would like a good subscription model with decent pricing and a good game. If the game isn't good, then fuck off.
All right, here's a better question then. For whatever any game that would have a subscription model, let's just say they do bring Monster Hunter Frontier over here, and they decided to keep that subscription model that they currently have going on in Japan. What would be the incentive to want to participate in that subscription model?
Well, the thing is, I don't know what the Japanese pricing is. If it's 100 yen, I'm all in because it's not a lot of money. But again, I don't know what the Japanese pricing is.
I can tell you World of Warcraft, I think at the time, if I remember, was like $50 a month, or was it $20 a month?
$50 a month?
I think it was $20 a month. I don't remember.
Yeah, $50 a month is definitely way too
It's
expensive.
like fuck you tier. Even $20 a month is like maybe like $50 would be like a yearly thing, like $50 per year, because that's kind of what Xbox Live or even PlayStation Plus kind of does. Well, Xbox Live I think is like 60.
Well, to give you an idea of pricing wise how this thing works, like when I was on EverQuest, the monthly subscription rate, if you were just paying every month for it, which was a bad idea because you got discounts the more if you went for like 3 months at a time or 6 months at a time.
As you would, yeah.
Yeah. The monthly subscription was like $12 or $13 a month.
And I know this isn't like related to MMOs, but like I've been doing like the monthly PlayStation Plus thing because of my bank account, I'm not ready to shuffle down $50 for a year. So instead, I'm kind of incrementing with 10. And I know that I'm kind of losing money in the long run, but it's nothing I can really do right now. But once I get more money in to like my bank account, I'll be able to like say, $50 a year, don't have to worry about it for a year. And I'm still paying GameFly monthly also, in terms of subscription-based stuff.
I think Akago is an interesting person to have for this conversation. So let me just ask him, what would it take for you to pay any kind of subscription for a game?
Well, the easy answer to that would be I wouldn't, but well,
let me just
pretty much
give you a hypothetical situation. Let's say somehow there's like a Day of the Tentacle MMO.
Okay.
What would that have to do in order to get you to subscribe to it?
Well, it would have to be a good game, like Unreal said, and it would have to have something that would make it stand out from the crowd. Like, what makes it worthwhile to play that and not any other MMO? That's pretty much all I got.
I actually do remember hearing this a long time ago when World of Warcraft was still a very huge craze, like height of its popularity deal, where some first-person shooters at the time were going to be MMO shooters, like Call of Duty. For some reason, people like to throw around that term, like it's a massive multiplayer online first-person shooter, which by definition, similar to say World of Warcraft, where you have to pay a subscription fee. That's obviously not true. Unless you count Call of Duty Elite, but that didn't really last past 5 years, I think. So, can you really see a subscription model work in other genres besides RPGs?
Ooh, I don't know about that. Because the thing is, when you do like an online RPG, you have such a broad scope you can work with. You can create massive worlds with a bunch of content in it of varying types. And I don't know how you could get that to work with different genres.
I can think maybe platformers, maybe racers, but even that would be stretching it. Maybe certain third-person shooters, but again, that would be a major stretch. The only games I can think of that comes close is probably any games that would charge you money for weapons, and which they take those weapons away after a certain period of time, so you have to keep paying for them if you want to keep them. Which is largely why.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's why I avoid free FPSs like combat arms. At least I think they use that sort of model that you were saying.
You know who does use something like that?
Oh, it might be.
Gunbound.
Okay, I know I've heard of this one before.
What the fuck was Gunbound?
It was that.
I know
like
combat.
like an online Worms.
Yeah, it was like an online Worms. I think it was Korean based.
Of course.
It used to be straight free to play, but then they started having the system where you have to pay in order to get like certain kinds of armor that would help beef you up and whatever thing you were riding up, and you have to continue paying for it monthly, otherwise it goes away. I just flat out quit Gunbound when they did that.
Oh man, better off playing Worms on fucking PC.
Oh my god, that's not a very good model, if you ask me.
No shit.
I mean, paying to play a game online monthly is one thing. At least, like as you said, you got a broader scope to work with RPG games. But paid monthly just to have buffs, I don't even know why.
Don't tell that to Ubisoft or EA.
Oh, I think microtransactions is already bad enough.
They are. You know that.
Should we just go on to happier things?
Yes.
I wish it was that easy.
Well, it is, because we're getting off this fucking topic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now we're going to viewer questions. And we have one from... Do you want to introduce yourself?
You!
Should this even count?
Well, that's all we got.
It's the only one, so we might as well. Akago asks, what are your best and worst games of 2014 and most anticipated games of 2015?
Hang on a second, SCR. Akago, why don't you ask us the question directly, since you're here?
Okay. What are your personal best and worst games of 2014, and what are your most anticipated games of 2015?
Oh god, I can't even remember what came out in 2014. I remember...
Me neither, but that's...
Yeah, like, we're in 2015 and we're like, what came out last year? Aside from Smash
primarily
Brothers?
because I barely bought anything new because I was still working on my backlog.
Oh,
I seriously forgot half the shit that came out last year.
Bayonetta 2 came out last year, right?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that did. That's why it was
game?
at the Game Awards 2014 and it didn't win.
Bayonetta 2.
EA probably paid for Dragon.
Oh yeah. Didn't play because I don't have a Wii U, unfortunately.
There's still time. Well, maybe until 2017 where Nintendo's gonna announce their new console, probably.
Well, since that's the only game I can remember other than Smash, I guess that's my game of 2014?
But you only played 4 levels, and I actually finished it.
And?
Was
if you want a game I've played to completion, hold on. I'm gonna see if this came out in 2014, and if it did, it's my game of the year. Okay, it did. Roundabout is my game of the year.
That sounds more likely to be your game of the year, honestly.
Roundabout?
It's the game where you play as a sideways spinning limo.
Oh.
And no, it doesn't feature the music by Yes. The JoJo minutes.
It's like 70s classy Crazy Taxi.
Okay. I'll have to look
Starring
into that.
Jeff the Skeleton.
And you were reading my mind there, Unreal.
Exactly. To be continued.
Most anticipated games of 2015? I don't have one yet.
Monster Hunter! No.
Well, if you want to count that, I guess.
Doesn't count because it's a guarantee.
I don't know, though. There's not a whole lot coming out in 2015 that's really piqued my interest yet.
Yeah, exactly. I don't even remember aside. Like, I already forgot what's coming out this month aside from the 2 3DS games I actually released.
The Order.
Hang on.
Well, you technically are anticipating that.
Well, it's not my turn yet. We'll get to it.
What about worst game?
Yeah, you got a worst game? What's your...
I don't know. I mean, hold on. I have a game on my Steam list. If it came out in 2014, it's my worst game of 2014. And... damn it! It came out 2013.
Close enough. What is it?
Close enough. It's Doorways.
What the fuck is Doorways?
It's
That sounds familiar.
I did a video of it on my YouTube channel. It's Spooky Walking Simulator.
Oh, glob.
Anyway,
So,
I guess that's my
anyone
answer.
else?
So whoever wants to go next.
I'll go last because I need to fucking figure out what my worst is.
Okay, Akago, you got us into this mess, so why don't you go next?
Yeah. Yeah, I asked the question, but I don't really have a clear answer myself.
Should
But-
this count?
God, it's
But-
like Link reflecting the magic balls back at Aghanim.
But out of the new games that I played last year, yeah, Smash Brothers obviously is the best one that I played, and one of the only ones. Worst, I didn't really play much else beyond that. Hang on a second, I gotta look up something real quick here. I think I might have another good game that I played in 2014. Not sure if it came out that same year.
While you're looking that up, can I make an addendum?
No, damn it. Anyway, yeah, go ahead.
Child of Light.
Hmm.
It's a game that made me not regret signing up for Ubisoft's Uplay bullshit.
For now.
For now.
Well, that says a lot right there. Anyway, the game I was thinking of was Muri, which came out in 2013, unfortunately.
I
But I
almost
played
I
thought
know
you were
that
going to
game.
say Mori.
No, Muri.
I
Came
like
out
that
on
game.
Steam. Yeah. A friend of mine gifted it to me some time ago and played through it in one sitting. It was pretty good. Kind of a nice little throwback to DOS era platformers by the guy that did EG, which was also a really good indie platformer. And as for most anticipated of 2015, well, you know me, I'm a Metal Gear Solid fan, so Phantom Pain, even though I don't yet own a PC that can run it, nor a PS4. And I've obviously yet to play Ground Zeroes for the same reason, but I'll get around to it eventually.
I guess that's up to me now.
It's up to you.
Best game. Tabletop Simulator. Even though I don't play it very often, mainly because, I don't know, the rest of the people I gifted the copies to just don't have time for it or something. But if we ever do get time, it's actually one of the best things I've ever played, mainly because it's pretty much a sandbox game when it comes to board games or card games. You can do whatever you want. No one has to follow your rules if they don't want to. You can make up your own RPG games, your own board games if you wanted to.
Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of tabletop, freaking most disappointing was the Game of Life download, where it's just a flat texture, doesn't have things you put on it, doesn't have fucking roads, doesn't have a working spinner.
That's horrible.
Fucking bad Game of Life. Deadly Danger Dungeon's still better.
Now I'm fucking dead.
I got to the key when I played Deadly Danger Dungeon the first time, and I'm like, where do I go?
Oh my god, me too.
Yeah, and I think I was the Sonic piece. We were just using Smash Brother figures as our fucking game faces. But go on, I'm still trying to figure out my words.
Wait, Deadly Danger Dungeon is actually a download for Tabletop Simulator?
Yeah, because
yes.
someone took James Rolfe's fucking board design and put it in tabletop.
Wow.
Yeah, it has Steam Workshop.
Yeah, I know.
so-
I knew that. I just didn't
Yeah.
figure anybody had actually made that sort of thing. That's
Yeah, and,
cool.
yeah, and that's
I
how
would
I
make Eels and Escalators from SpongeBob.
and that's how I've been able to play Cards Against Humanity, because someone went through the trouble of getting almost every card they had on hand into the game.
Don't play the furry deck, for fuck's sakes. It's like, oh, you gonna play the furry deck? No, don't put the fucking furry deck in.
All the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries.
Oh my god. Will you? No, shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
oh my god. No.
Yeah, someone even went through the trouble of making up a tabletop RPG based on Five Nights at Freddy's.
Whoa.
All right. So, anyways, that's also the worst game of 2014.
All right. Huh. Worst game, that's kind of hard to say, though, since I've been a little more careful lately for this year. Well, last year, I should say. I'm just looking at the back over here. If the question extended out to any game in general, then I would be able to tell you right off the bat of this game. But it's hard for me to say legitimately what's the worst game I've played this year. I can tell you the game that kind of comes close in terms of what I've played, and a game that is almost as close only based on what I've heard. And they're both
Tabletop Sim Furry Deck.
and they're both free-to-play games. The ones I've actually played would probably go to Fear Online. They use the game engine from Fear 2, which wasn't bad. It's just that apparently they limit you on how many times you can play the co-op mode. Which
Boo! Pop scare! Sorry.
that too.
I forgot Fear Online was a thing.
Thanks, Chaos D1, for reminding me that fucking Fear Online was a thing, and that is really
Yeah.
bad.
I mean, it plays okay, just I really don't like how the free-to-play model works on it.
Do you also like how there's glitches, like how the fucking magic, or how people can just fucking insta-gib stab everyone by teleporting everywhere? Can't get rid of hacks.
Oh my god, and there actually
Isn't that Fear 2? No, it's not.
yeah, and there actually is competitive multiplayer where
Boo! Sorry. Anyways, go on.
where if someone kills you in the game immediately recommends you a better weapon and tells you, well, if you want to stand a chance to get this guy, you better pay money for this weapon. That's the only way it could have gotten more literal and blatant as to its free-to-play status. As for a game I've heard that's bad, technically I've played it. I say technically because I played a version of it. But this one is the Counter-Strike Zombies, the one handled by Nexon. You just look at it and you're like, wow, okay.
Terrorists win.
Okay.
Never been more literal in our life.
Like, I've heard a lot of mixed things about it, mostly negative. But it just looked bad. Like, I know it's based on Counter-Strike 1.6, but you have...
Fucking shitty terrorist team sucks my dick!
But what's even more... How do I describe this? You look at one of the artworks for it, and it looks like they blended in realistic counter-terrorists and terrorists going up against zombies with anime characters as teammates. Like, okay, am I playing Counter-Strike or motherfucking Ghost in the Shell? Anyway, as for most anticipated game, I do got a few. Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, especially the PC version. Because when you get the PC version, you actually get a cardboard box that has Steam on it.
So, a Steam box.
I think that's the joke. But no, really, Ground Zero was such an impressive PC port. It really got me looking forward to Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Rising 2 got teased, so I'm looking forward to that. And the only other thing I think of on top of my head, besides the 2 3DS games I'm looking for, keep in mind I traded in my Vita just to get a new 3DS. So that goes for all 10 of my Vita games I had, just so I can get Monster Hunter 4 and Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. But the next anticipated game is probably Five Nights at Freddy's 3. The funny thing about it is that I hardly play any of those games, and it's like...
Aren't they like $5?
Yeah.
Oh.
And yet the fan base just really fascinates me.
Probably in multiple ways than one.
Most likely.
All the single furries, all the single furries, all the single furries.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
Well, it's mainly from all sorts of different artists, like Rebornica from Tumblr, who's making his own alternate universes based on Five Nights at Freddy's, and it's all.
Oh boy!
It's been pretty much a cult rage that I noticed on Facebook. Months ago, Microsoft got a trademark for Battletoads.
Wasn't Phil Spencer wearing a Battletoads shirt? I know we give Phil Spencer a lot of shit, but I prefer him over Don Matrick and fucking guy that ruined Sony before he went to Microsoft. The bald guy. I fucking forget his name.
Oh my god. Now I'm just looking forward to a possible new Battletoads game, which might be the only reason to get an Xbox One. I'd also say...
And then it gets ported to PC.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, I would also get Killer Instinct, but there's already talks about the PC version that I'm just waiting to happen.
There have been reports of other Microsoft games potentially coming to PC
Like,
as well.
watch Master Chief Collection come out and actually work on PC before they pick it on Xbox.
Yeah, so I'm highly anticipating the new Battletoads game once it finally gets announced.
With your luck, they registered the trademark so they could bring back that cartoon.
Oh, dude, we need diabetes to talk over it. Yeah.
Oh man, I think that's it for me.
Oh no, not David Wise. What the hell are you doing? Oh wait, it's not the David Wise.
I don't think it was wise enough to allow Rare to sell themselves to Microsoft.
You know what is wise? Moving ahead to...
I didn't even list my game.
I was going to say to Unreal.
Okay. I thought it's like, okay, I couldn't think of anything, so whatever. Akago, I'm sorry, I can't say best games of 2014 because I still want to make a video related to that, so I'm keeping tight-lipped because it's going to be like a list thingy. Or
That's cool.
not even like a top 10, it's just like a, here's 10 games I liked, I guess. Worst games, that's actually hard because, like, what did I even play in 2014? I was looking through my Steam list, barely played anything on that, and games I rented, like, I only rented, like, one game that would probably qualify for worst, but out of all the games I played, worst wouldn't really be a good thing to, like, say.
Is that
But
Arcane?
anyways,
Is it
what I
Arkham
would
Origins?
pick- Huh?
Is it Arkham Origins?
That didn't come out in 2014, that came out in 2013.
Oh, fucker. Okay.
But worst, out of the ones I played, Watch Dogs. Like, I rented that, and, like, it's not terrible. That's the thing. It's not terrible, but it's not good. And that's, like, the lowest quality game I played all year. Everything else I played, I've enjoyed or not even touched when I bought it. Either on 3DS or Wii U. But anyways, I would have to say Watch Dogs, because a lot of things that were bad about it really baffled me about how can you fuck this up? Like, how can you fuck driving up in Watch Dogs? Watch Dogs, fuck driving up. Driving in that game is terrible. It feels awful.
Oh, not to mention they butchered the Wii U port, as expected.
Oh, no, fuck Ubisoft. Like, of course they would. It's like, hey, we'll release later. It'll be the best version. Oh, what? No one bought it because we released later? It's clearly Nintendo's fault.
And we also
'Cause that's
released it around the
Ubisoft
same time as
logic.
other better games. Still Nintendo's
Yeah,
fault.
like everything else. But yeah, like that's like the lowest quality game I've played in 2014 in terms of yearly release, which is weird because I thought I played something worse than Watch Dogs, but looking back on what I played, I don't think I did, which is really strange. Because, like, Watch Dogs on its own isn't terrible. It's just, like, average
Mediocre.
to whatever. Yeah.
I was also disappointed. I never played it yet, but I was disappointed to hear that they gimped the PC version somewhat, at least in terms of graphics.
In Watch Dogs? Oh, believe me, my brother had the PC version for free, I think, because he upgraded a graphics card and it just happened to come with Watch Dogs. He put in the graphic mod, like, almost immediately, and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, like, why would Ubisoft even do that?
Oh, another disappointing thing about Watch Dogs was the soundtrack was absolute shit. The music sucked. There was only one song I liked. It was a sort of newer Smashing Pumpkins song. I thought they retired, but I guess not. Maybe they did, but then Billy Corgan's like, yo, I'll keep doing it, but not with the original guys, I guess. I don't know. That was the only song I liked in the game. Nothing else I really liked, except, there was a Ministry song in the game, I think. Jesus Built My Hot Rod. There was that, I guess, but whatever. Yeah, I can't say there was any games in 2014 that made me go, wow, this is fucking shit.
Well,
I don't
ones that
think.
you played.
Yeah, like, I could probably look at a bunch of games and go, wow, look at this bullshit. Look at that shit. Look at this fuckhead. But out of the
Zero
ones
wasn't
I
here.
actually played, Watch Dogs.
I was gonna say, yeah, Zero's not here to say the Sonic Boom game.
Well, yeah, like, I knew to stay the fuck away from that. Well, there was probably one game that, even though I didn't play, I probably would call worst of 2014. And just by looking at it, and just by my experience with a previous game in the franchise, I would say the worst game of 2014 that I have not played is Escape Dead Island.
I've heard.
I think you would understand why if you looked at it.
You know, I haven't looked at it yet, but I've heard so
Not
much.
good things.
It's a
Not good things.
Dead Island game that says enough.
Oh my god. At least Dying Light.
This coming
doesn't
from a
have
guy who
fucking cars so
actually
you could
paid
drive
full
through
price for
water
the first Dead Island and hasn't actually played it yet.
I 100%ed the first Dead Island. It was free on Xbox at one point. I'm just like, why am I doing this? I had Stretch Armstrong kill my entire fucking 4-player party. A Stretch Armstrong glitch killed our Xboxes. All 4 of us. And we're like, yeah, we're not playing this anymore.
I was hoping for Senator Armstrong.
Stretchy Armstrong is more deadly than Senator Armstrong because one can actually break your system instead of actually being a tough.
I won't remember Dead Island as Dead Island. I'll remember it as Wave Race 360.
Exactly. Or getting your car stuck in a tree and it took us like 30 minutes to get it out. Yeah, we. I have a lot of Dead Island stories, but I don't want to get it. A lot of it is just like dumb shit. Most anticipated Monster Hunter 4. Yeah. Majora's Mask, kinda. I have it on N64, but never really inclined to like do a full playthrough on that. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna attempt a full playthrough on 3DS, as I did for Ocarina of Time. Oh, what else? I might try Bloodborne. That's coming out this year. I'm still not sure yet. Other anticipated games. What else is coming out this year? I think one of you mentioned it, and I already forgot. Oh,
Phantom Pain?
Kinda maybe. Metal Gear's weird with me. I have games. I only beat 4. I was halfway through. Well, I don't know, halfway through Peace Walker. Me and Jordan kind of just stopped playing co-op. I'm like, well, I'm gonna get back to it.
Yeah,
I mean, since I have HD version now, I mean, I should be able to play it actually.
we really should get back to it.
Oh, but what else is coming out this year? Gesundheit. I think it's a Nintendo product. It's not Kirby. Maybe Star Fox? No, it's not Star Fox. We don't know too much about it yet. Shit. What else is coming out this year that I was looking forward to? I'm forgetting. I think Monster Hunter clouded my judgment and say, just Monster Hunter, just buy that. That's all you need. Oh! And I guess my other anticipated things is Amiibos. No, that doesn't count. Oh! The other anticipated game. The anticipated fuck-up of 2015 called The Order 1886. I can't wait to go, why am I playing this? You know, I will probably shoot my foot off if the game's good. What if it isn't good? Well, then I'd be like, yeah, I called it. I think everyone called it. But yeah, I'm just legit excited for Monster Hunter and maybe a few other games that I can't think of at the top of my head. And I'm just excited to get fucking disappointed by Order 1886. Why I'm renting it. I think that's all I've got on my end.
Alright, well, if anyone besides Akago wants to ask us a question, they can do it on the River City Gamers site, they can do it on the YouTube upload, or they can ask us on Facebook, facebook.com/RiverCityGamers. And
what was that again? What was that Facebook again?
Facebook.com/RiverCityGamers.
Okay, what was that Facebook again?
Facebook.com/RiverCityGamers.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. But now we'll go into our final section, video updates. And Angel?
I know I've been away for more than 9 months, as far as...
Way long enough that you've grown a beard in that time.
Yeah, apparently people have started comparing me to Daniel Bryan.
Now you know how I felt at a Resident Evil photo shoot once, and then I just went, fucking yes. I just ran with it, because I know who Daniel Bryan is. And I'll just fucking put on a show.
Yeah, I just need to know how to trim my beard to keep it the way it is.
No, well, the thing is, didn't Daniel Bryan's grow his out even fucking more at one point?
Yes.
Oh my god.
Then don't shave ever.
I'm like, Jesus. Okay. So, I have this one video that's been sitting there for like more than 9 months that I haven't finished. It's due...
that feeling.
Yeah, it's due to a lot of things that's happened. Maybe I'll have an explanation late at some point talking about it. In the meantime, though, I do have a few ideas for videos. It's just a matter of when I'll get to them. Just to give you an idea of what's going on right now, I got a computer to pay off and x-rays to shoot. So, yeah. I'll get to it whenever I'm able to get to it.
And Unreal.
As I mentioned during Akago questions, we may as well rename the segment to that at this point. I still want to work on my best of 2014. I think I might start soon if I have free time. The reason I was holding off a little bit more is because I still wanted to play more games, and I think I've played enough of 2014 games that I can probably formulate a list, even though there's some titles I still forgot that came out in 2014 that I own, and I'm just like, wait, that came out that year? Oh, what? But yeah, so I don't know when I'm going to be able to start on that. And I've also had another thing on standby that I haven't really started, that I have game footage for. Remember Plug and Play? Remember when we were doing those?
I still have one I want to work on.
Yeah, I've had game footage for this particular Plug and Play on my computer for a while, all ready to go. I just haven't written anything on it because I just haven't really had time, and I'm just wondering, like, how I'm gonna approach this. Like, I kind of know what I want to talk about, but I gotta, like, actually have free time and think about working on it. But part of me wants to do the 2014 list first, then that. But it's really a toss-up right now. That's really all I have planned right now. I know, like, I'm really inconsistent with uploads, as in, like, I may upload a single video per year.
Hey, you're not the
Then
only
I
one
still
there.
gotta figure out how to stop Sony Vegas from crashing. That's another thing. I'm having issues, and I'm thinking I should probably reinstall Sony Vegas, but I think that may be an actual pain in the ass, so maybe Zero might be able to help me with that if I actually want to get working on something. Like, so that's where I'm at. I'm still having technical difficulties, at least with editing software. That's all I've got on my end.
Alright, as for me, I did just recently upload Just a Moment with Deadlight. So...
Oh wait, you mean just a moment?
Just a moment! And I did start recording game footage for the Bloody Roar 4 part of the retrospective, which I was streaming it on my hitbox, and I decided, well, I'll just get career mode out of the way. The game crashed halfway through, and I didn't get to save anything. And then it backed out when I didn't want it to, and didn't save anything. So it took a ridiculously long time to get through it.
How to give up on Bloody Roar 4.
By the development staff. And I have an alpha as whatever that I'm working on for Hover Revolt of Gamers, because I'm in the alpha for that. And I also have... what else do I... Oh, right. I have a Hindsight Miscellanea that I can do. But I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to finish any of that. And the retrospective part is still a ways off. So that's all for me. Akago.
Well, since my last podcast appearance, I have actually finished both of the crossovers I was working on. The last one actually came out only a month ago, which was because both me and Ikifu were kind of struggling to get that done, but whatever. And only this morning I put out a short review of Over the Garden Wall. And beyond that, well, over the past year, I've been working on a script for a 5-part retrospective of a cartoon series I've been wanting to talk about, which still isn't finished. But I'm hoping to get to that soon-ish, and at least put out the first 2 parts of that, since those are pretty much scripted by now. And I've been wanting to get back into Let's Playing for a while as well, but we'll see when that's going to happen, because, as I said, I want to focus on the retrospective for now, get that done at long last, and we'll see what happens after that. So, yeah.
Alright, and that takes us to the end of the podcast. Once again, I am SCXCR.
I'm Unreal.
I am Akago.
And I am AngelHalo. Now, has anyone actually taken that message seriously? Because I haven't even posted a phone number.
What was the
What
message?
message?